Welcome to Geared Up, the section of the show where we check out the latest biking gear, gadgets, innovations from the shelves of J&S Accessories. Now with the clocks having gone back, I think it's safe to say that winter is finally here. Therefore, it's time to hang up your summer gloves and get your hands nice, warm and toasty in some winter ones. Now the key for winter gloves is obviously to keep your hands warm and dry. So today we're going to look at a range from a budget option all the way through to the all singing, all dancing heated options for those who are a bit more hardcore. Now here at J&S Accessories, they have a number of options on the shelves for around or under £30. And the ones I've picked out today are these, the Frank Thomas Dry Viz Claw, which as you can probably tell, group your fingers together to retain body heat and also let you do a wicked penguin impression. They're made from a material called Hypertech, plus obviously the standard leather. They have a Hypora breathable membrane and thin slate to keep your hands warm. They also have these handy reflective inserts to make you more visible in the dark, and they're the cheapest option we're looking at today and will cost you just £25. Now how about if you want your gloves to match your bike? A number of manufacturers make their own gloves or manufacture them under license, and we've picked 3 of the best for you to have a look at today. Although one thing to bear in mind is if you do change your bike, you're going to have to change your gloves too, or risk looking like a bit of an idiot. Now the cheapest of the 3 are these from Kawasaki, costing just £48.95. They're made from something called Fabric 600, have a Hypora breathable and waterproof lining, and the rather cool Kawasaki logo on the fingers, as you can see. Next up are the Triumph Navigator. Not only are these a little bit more substantial, but we can highly recommend these as our director actually wears them while riding our Triumph camera bike. They've got a Tri-Tech lining which is waterproof, windproof and breathable, really good knuckle protection and a storm cuff. Plus they have the Triumph logo on the finger and on the wrist, and they go with the Triumph Navigator touring suit, and these will set you back £80. What about if you ride an Italian bike? Well, if it's a Ducati, how about these? These are the Ducati Tour 14 glove, and they're made with goatskin and textile outer with a Hydrotech waterproof inside liner. These also come with some really good armoured knuckle protection, Ducati logo on the finger, little splash of Ducati red, and they'll set you back £85. Now it's time to get slightly more hardcore with these. Now everyone knows that Knox makes some of the best gloves around with the Handroid, great for if you're going racing or for summer riding. But did you also know they make winter gloves? These textile gloves are actually new for 2013, and believe it or not, they come at a really good budget, £65. For that you get a Poral membrane to keep your hands dry, a thin slate inner layer for warmth, plus their patented scaphoid protection, which if you remember our visit to Knox, we went to go and see how they make their gloves, can make a huge difference in saving your broken bones. And these are the reason why I wear these gloves when I'm riding in the winter. Next up, I've picked a couple of gloves from Risha, who are known for making winter gear. Now, first up is the Ice Polar GTX, which is the first of our gloves to feature Gore-Tex. It's made from goatskin and textile once more. It has a tri-fleece lining to keep you extra warm, some really good armour, plus it's the first of our gloves to be CE approved. Now these will cost you $89.99, they're a really good set of gloves, but if you don't want to fork out that little bit extra for the official Gore-Tex version, you can get their Polar gloves, which cost just £70 and still feature a super fabric inner lining. Next up is Furigan, who started off making gloves back in the 70s, so they really do know what they're doing. These are the top of the range efforts called the Land Pro Evo, and not only are they CE approved, they're the first gloves ever to be EN 511 2006 approved, with level 2 for warmth and level 1 for waterproofness. In other words, they've been tested in a really posh fancy finish factory and they've came out with flying colours. Now, these are the only gloves that are fully goatskin and have a waterproof inside membrane. Plus, they have the Furigan dual lining system, which means you have a warm lining on top to keep your hands, well, extra toasty, and a thinner lining underneath to allow you to have much more feel on your controls. Now, these will set you back £100, but in my eyes are really worth it. But if you wanted a slightly cheaper option, why not go for the Furigan Apali, which have a lot of the same technology, but only cost £60. Finally, on to the most expensive set of normal gloves we're looking at today, which is the Alpinestars Archer Extra Fit. These again are made from full goatskin leather. They have Gore-Tex and Extra Fit technology to make them warm, dry and comfortable, and they even have a little wiper built in. Thing is, they cost £140, and while they look pretty trick, especially with little fluorescent inserts, they don't feel that thick and substantial for a full winter glove. Maybe these were designed for the Italian winters. Now if you really have to head out in the snow, ice, wind, rain, pretty much the worst conditions you can imagine, I'd like to recommend something a little bit different, and that's the XO2 Storm Guard heated glove. The great thing about the Storm Guard glove is they can provide heat in 2 ways. Either you can fix a small permanent line to your battery that sticks out the side of your fairing, which is very easy to do, and then you run the wire down the sleeves of your jacket and into the glove like so. Or, for an extra £43, if you have the XO2 body warmer, you can get yourself one of these, a little power pack that will sit in your pocket and will keep you heated, and has a little remote control with 3 different heat settings on it. On top of that, these are made from full cowl leather, have a Hypora membrane to keep you dry and a thin slate layer to keep you warm. Plus these proper extreme weather hardcore gloves are the same price of the Alpinestars at £140. So out of all of these gloves, the ones I would truly recommend, and I can say that because I've been wearing them for the last year and they've never let me down, plus they represent excellent value for money, are the Knox Textile. A bargain at only £65.